Welcome to the Travis Goodwin Show. It's a pleasure to have you on here, man. I've been watching you on Facebook, social media for a while, so I know a little bit about what you do. But for those who may not know that's watching, let's just get started with an introduction. Explain who you are and what you do in this business.
For sure. Yeah, thanks for having me on. So my name's Ky Logue. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I've been in real estate for about 4 years. I've been an entrepreneur for a little over 8 now, I guess almost 10. But yeah, I've been in sales and marketing since I was 18 and found wholesaling about 4 years ago. And that's kind of been our main thing for since we found it. It's been really good to us. And, we also have a CRM company where we do AI and automations and custom builds for people to help them get more deals. We do events. We do a bunch of stuff, man. But yeah, we're excited. We love it, man. Real estate's been awesome to us, and we love the community, and always looking for ways to give back and help others get going.
Oh wow, that's incredible, man. So it sounds like you've accomplished a lot in the last 4 years. So you were in sales before. So what were you doing before wholesaling?
Yeah, so before wholesaling, I had a marketing company. So we built like systems and automations and paid ads for car dealers. So I did that for quite a while. And then prior to that, I mean, I've done before I started working for myself, about a decade ago. I've done, every kind of sales from car sales, sold Kirby vacuum cleaners for a bit, to call centers, like really any job I could find on Craigslist when I was an 18-year-old kid. So yeah, just really any job that would take me. And yeah, I think pretty much like 99% of any job I've had has been strict commission. So done it for quite a while and over time got pretty good at it.
Man, that's incredible. It really is. So how did, what let's rewind. So where were you at when you found wholesaling, right? And what was your reason to look for something else?
Yeah, so really when I found out about wholesaling, because I always wanted to get into real estate. So even when I had my own business, I was looking into real estate and wanted to find ways to get into it. And I thought falsely, I guess, that I had to have all this money in the bank, or I had to have like perfect credit, or know how to fix houses, and really have like all my ducks in a row before I could get started. But one day I was reading a book. They just had a small paragraph about it, and it said, there's this thing called real estate wholesaling, where all you have to do is sales and marketing. I'm like, oh, that's all I've ever done, so that's perfect for me. So I kind of had that seed there that I wanted to try it out. Then COVID hit, and we literally just lost all of our car dealership clients almost like overnight. Like we literally just a couple of them stuck with us, but they didn't know what they could do. Like if people could come in the dealerships, or nobody knew what was going on in the beginning. So at that point, I'm like, hey, I can ride it out and just see, build it back up from scratch basically. Because no one knows what happened. I'm like, or I could just try this real estate wholesaling thing out. So we did, yeah, just kind of went all in on wholesaling, and we got our first, yeah, in the first 60 days, we ended up getting two deals. The first deal barely made $1,000. I think we made like $1,400 or something. But I was just happy to get one done. But we had that proof of concept. So luckily, we kept pushing forward, or I guess being stubborn or luck, whatever you want to call it. But we kept pushing forward. And the next one we made over 60 grand. And that was the most I ever made at one time. So I mean, this is great. We're gonna keep doing this. So it's
Yeah, that's awesome. That proof of concept changes everything. It doesn't matter if it's $500, $1,000, once you know that you can do it, it's game over from there. I mean, you just keep going. So you said you got a CRM, you do a lot of AI. How are you guys in this day and age finding your leads?
so really from everywhere. I mean, we do a lot of JVs now. I help a lot of people. We do text blast still. We just have different automations that kind of help you avoid getting in trouble with the carriers. But we do PPL. I mean, really anything. Anything we need to get leads, and then we just make sure we stay on top of them, and we follow up and try to follow up more than anybody else. And we use automations and AI to do that.
Awesome. Awesome. So what does your systems look like? So a lead comes in. What's the next step once the lead comes in?
Yeah, so we have a bot like the AI bot. It's connected with ChatGPT on the back end. So we build a bot out on the developer side, and yeah, basically it just responds. It gets a message. It does outbound calls too, so it'll call, they'll text. It just keeps hitting them up until and that like it only goes as far as just setting the appointment and just kind of pre-qualifying them and eliminating tire kickers. So we want to ask some basic questions like what kind of price are you looking for? Why are you looking to sell? Do you actually want to talk to someone and get an offer? And they say yes, and they can either get a live transfer if it's on the voice side of the AI, or they just set the appointment. in the text, they'll just set the appointment, and then it'll just be in my calendar and like, hey, these are the people you have to call today.
Awesome. So who usually is the person that calls these people? Is it you? Is it someone else on your team?
It's usually me. Yeah, I try to do. I'm not great at managing people. I'd say that's probably one of my weak spots is building teams, managing people. I just like having the AIs and automation set up so I can just couple on the phone and close people and not just not have to chase people around and prospect all day.
Understand, man. I get that totally. So are you going under contract before you're going to look at a house, or do you go out and look
Yeah,
at a house
100%.
first?
Yeah, I don't ever go to look at it personally. Like we get it under contract too before we send anyone. So we'll get someone to go out there and take pictures and do a walkthrough and make sure we can build out our dispo flyer that we put together. But yeah, I don't want to waste any time or going out there until they sign the agreement.
Understand. When have you ever done that? Like, have you ever been at a place where you were going out and looking at houses all the time?
Yeah, when I first started, I'd say yeah, like in that first few months, I was just going out and doing it. And then just one day I kind of had the epiphany that I'm like, I'm in San Antonio. But when I started, we were just doing San Antonio. But I'd talk to somebody and I was excited. I was new, like, oh, this person wants to sell. And I'd drive all the way across town, which would be like 40 minutes without traffic. And then I'd do it. They weren't that serious. So I'd spend like an hour with them, then go all the way back, another hour, and like then half my day's gone. And I'm like, man, why did I just do all that? That's crazy. I'm like, can I just do this over the phone? And found out I could. And I'm like, oh, then I realized if I can just do this all over the phone, why can't I just do this anywhere? And that's when we started to go into different states and other markets.
Man, it's incredible. So, are you guys in, how many markets are you in?
I think, I mean, we focus on just a handful. But I mean, I think we've done deals in like 10 different states now and a bunch of different markets in those states. But yeah, Texas is a big one for us, Florida. We've done a good amount in California too. But if it's a major market, if someone has a deal they need help with, we'll help them JV. If it's like, as long as it's like not in the middle of nowhere, or we've seen somewhere there's a town like 1,000 people and the county only has like 5,000. And it's like, there's not really much you can do there. But if
Um,
it's like close to like a major metro, like, yeah, we can usually find a buyer if it's a good deal.
how, as far as population goes, do you have a certain number you look for, a minimum?
Not really. I mean, we'll look at activity. I mean, that's kind of one of the first ones we'll look at. If it's like real low, that's usually a red flag. And then if we look at like there's no activity going on, like I can't find any comps or anything sold, and that's usually like, okay, we're not going to do anything. Because before, we obviously you learn as you go, but we spent a lot of time on deals that we thought were home run deals, but there just weren't really a bunch of activity or buyers out there. And we ended up wasting a month or so, trying to move the deal. And then I'm like, I could have just been finding better deals. Um, but that's kind of really, I mean, it depends on the deal. But ideally we look for like, it's within 30 minutes or so of like a major city or something. Ideally, then we know we can move it. But, sometimes you'll find random ones where there is activity. So you just want to look at those two things, like how big is the population? And then like I mean, really the more important one is, are deals happening? Is there activity? Like, are people buying over there? Then like, you can
Yeah.
easily find that on any site, like, Prop Stream or Deal Machine or wherever you want to go.
Do you use Prop Stream or Deal Machine? Is there any, do you use any of those?
Yeah, I've used them all in the past. I think now we've been using PropStream more lately. I think that's just preference, just because we've been on it for a while. But I know Deal Machines added a bunch of cool stuff, and but I've used them too. And yeah, I think they're all great.
Yeah, I've used them all too. Deal Machine's been my go-to for the past few years, just because they've done a really good job of incorporating everything into one. Dialer, mailers, CRM is really cool. So as far as your like, you're out here, you're not really going to see these houses first. You're going under contract. You're dealing with houses in multiple states. How many of these contracts, like percentage-wise, would you say you have to cancel, or do you have to do that at all?
Yes, I'd say maybe like 60 to 70% we get to the finish line. And it really depends. I mean, the number's higher if we've done deals before and we have buyers there and we're more confident in the market. But the key for us is like we don't think we're going to be able to get it to the finish line, or we know like we just communicate with the seller and let them know like, hey, it's not working. We try to do it as soon as possible because the last thing I want to do is just wait till the last day of the of our option period and be like, hey, we got to let this go. Um, but yeah, I mean, we try to avoid it, but unfortunately, it's part of the game. It happens.
Sure. Do you give these sellers any money down, earnest money, anything like that?
Usually like $10 EMD.
Oh, nice. Do you ever hear any objections for that $10?
Not really. Once in a blue moon. It's more just like a question than an objection, I'd call it. Like, yeah, sometimes it'd be like, oh, like why they'll just ask, like, why is it only $10? Or, like sometimes once in a while they'll be like, oh no, and I'll be like, okay, I'll give you 100. But really I just explained to him like, hey, Mr. Seller, if everything is what you told me and you're being honest with me, if it's in the condition that you said, it's everything, there's no surprises, there's no issues with title, there's nothing else going on. Like as long as everything is what you told me it is, we're going to be able to close in the time frame that we talked about. And, we're going to close for the price we talked about. But yeah, I'm sure you sound like you're being honest. Like, yeah, we're being honest. Like, okay, perfect. Then just sign there.
Yeah, man, that's so important just to be upfront with people and let them know how the process is going to work ahead of time. That way, you don't get questions later, right? And if you do get questions, you can always say, "Well, we talked about this. This is what we're going to do." So that's awesome. So let's go into your CRM a little bit. You say you got some AI involved. How long have you incorporated AI in your business?
So I think like actually doing it like on the sales side. So I think about a year and a half we've been doing like the SMS stuff. We just rolled out the voice stuff where we got to do outbound and inbound. They got that to actually talk to the CRM and update it and set appointments and actually put the notes and the transcripts in there for you. But really, I think 2, 3 years ago now, whenever ChatGPT first launched, it got big. I played with it one night and I'm like, this is crazy. I couldn't believe like how like powerful of a tool it was. And I've kind of been all in it since then. And like I try to use it as often as I can. Like, I trained myself to use AI before I use Google to search for stuff. And yeah, I think it's the future. The future's now. It's not going anywhere. It just keeps getting better and better every day. I think they say it's at like a PhD level now for how smart it is. And that's a heck of a lot smarter than I am. So
Yeah.
yeah, I try to use it for everything.
Have you ever done a deal yet where it was almost completely AI?
No, I mean we haven't even separate tried. Just I like to have control too. Kind of a yeah, as a entrepreneur, I just like to have control of the process, and I trust myself in the sales side more than anything. So like everything we use it for is just to kind of eliminate like time wasters and really just set up appointments and set it up just so like I'm talking to the best leads and we're following up and getting them back on the phone. But yeah, every way we use it is just to kind of one either like reactivate a cold list or follow up with people or just to get that initial one because I never want to miss the initial leads coming in. And I feel like a lot of time when you have a lot of leads coming in, it's hard to stay on top of all of them. So I like having that.
Do you feel like the AI part of your CRM is the most powerful part of it?
I'd probably. I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, really, it depends. I guess what each person's weakness or things are. So we do it a bit different. So we build like custom CRMs for people.
Hmm.
So if someone's brand new, usually they'll just model what we're doing. Or if they're newer, they haven't mapped out their SOPs or their systems yet. They usually just model, what's working best for us and some of our clients or some of the top wholesalers and investors in the country. And we even do outside of wholesaling. We build CRMs in a whole bunch of other industries now. But yeah, really but if they have systems, they have process, they're doing deals, we'll sit down with them. We'll try to map out what they're doing, and then we'll have like bigger people we'll talk to. We said we have a new client that they have a whole, like they have a pretty big team. They've been doing deals here in San Antonio for a long time. They're one of the bigger people here. And they have a whole acquisition side and they have a whole dispo side. So we built theirs up completely different because they're just proactively all day. They're just reaching out on the dispo side and basically they have their own sales process for that. So for someone like that, we don't want to make them like, hey, you got to follow our system. You got to do this. Like we want to figure out what their system is and then map it out for them and just make it easier for them. So that's kind of one of the big changes. I think that's probably the most powerful part is that custom side of it. And then it's just an all in one. But yeah, the AI is great. I mean, we use whatever the latest and greatest AI stuff is right now. It's OpenAI, ChatGPT. Something else comes along better. We've been playing with Grok a lot. We'll use that one. So, we just try to connect everything and just put it all in one place for people.
Oh man, that's so cool. Technology has just went so far. I mean, there were CRMs when I started, but my CRM was a notebook,
Hmm.
and there was no AI in that notebook at all to help. So it's just crazy. I can't wait to see. I'm excited to see where all of this goes, definitely with real estate. So you mentioned earlier you said you do events. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we do wholesale and syndicate live is our main event. We've done like some smaller ones here and there, like meetups and stuff here in San Antonio. But yeah, we did one last September. I think we had close to 250 people plus there. We had speakers come in from all over the country. We had people flying in from other countries, even all over the country. So it's been really cool. We started. pretty small. I think we've been doing it for about 2 years now. And they just grown organically and they've got bigger and bigger. And yeah, they're a lot of fun. So we try to, the last one we did, I don't know if we'll do another one. It's completely free, but we did that whole big one completely free. I think we had like 15 speakers and, we got it rented out a big ass venue. And yeah, it's been fun. We're planning on our next one now. We're going to be announcing it soon. I think it's going to be tentatively sometime around August. But yeah, we have some really cool stuff planned for the next one. So gotta,
That's
I think we'll
cool.
be announcing that pretty soon. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. But yeah, it's Wholesale and Syndicate Live is the name of the event.
Yeah, you guys got to look out for that. That sounds like a lot of value. So do you do any speaking yourself at these events?
I do. Yeah, yeah. I speak at all of our events, and then yeah, spoken at some other events here and there too.
So before you started doing this with real estate, had you ever like spoke and like public speaking before?
No, never. No. Yeah, never.
Awesome.
Never done
I
it at
love
all. Yeah.
that.
It was cool. I mean, we got easier with time. I mean, the first one, I remember being nervous the first one. And now, nah, I love it, and it's comfortable. I mean, we've probably done like 12, 15 events of ours, and I've spoken at probably like 10 events that aren't ours. So it's like yeah, it just gets like everything. I mean, your first sales call is super hard. First time you speak on stage is hard, but like as you do it more and more, it just gets easier and easier. I'm sure a few years from now I'll be way better than I am now.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
it's fun.
Do you plan your speeches ahead and like write it down and or are you just kind of freestyling it?
Yeah, I plan. I'm big. I'm big. Even in my sales calls, like I have scripts for everything. It's I like to map everything out and like know at least what I'm going to say. I might go off a little bit here and there, like you were saying with the scripts. But I like to have at least have that like guideline of like the main points I want to hit. Make sure I'm like delivering as much value as I can and not missing anything.
Smart guy, smart guy. So as far as your sales calls go, how long is your typical sales call?
I feel like for if they end up like closing a sign there, I'd say like 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Okay, it's not bad at all. And is your goal to get them to sign on that first call?
100%. Yeah, I mean, if I can, that's always the best outcome. Yeah, it's either that or I just want to set a solid follow-up appointment. But yeah, I always want to get them to sign then and there if we can. Just that way. I mean, especially if it's like a PPC or PPL lead, like they're more
Yeah,
than likely they're not just reaching out to you. So I just want them in like if I have them on the phone, I'd rather get it going. It's just one less thing for them to worry about, one less thing for me to worry about, so I don't have to keep chasing them around. But yeah, it's always the best outcome.
sure, yeah. So I'm sure when they come in from your local market, you know a lot of that market, you know values. But what happens when it comes in from a market you've never worked in before? What if it's just a random lead? What's your due diligence like there?
So I put them on hold. And I'll just be more conservative with my offer if I don't know it very well. Just come in lower. But yeah, I just put them on hold. Like, hey, we're gonna go check with the team. I know some people don't like that, but I literally have to. I mean, I don't know the markets, and I want to make sure I just don't, try to make my chance of having to cancel later as low as possible. So I just want to
Yeah.
make sure I just put them on hold. They're like 9 times out of 10, they're fine with that.
What's your speaking of like canceling things like that, what's your due diligence period like on most of these
I put it up
contracts?
to the date. Yeah, so it's like if it's 30 days closing, well, I'll give myself 30 days.
Do
They're
you,
a 30-day inspection period.
do you see that being average, that 30 days?
Pretty typically, yeah. Unless it's like a bigger deal or something. If we need or we're doing innovation or something different, we'll give ourselves more time. But yeah, typically we give 30 days, and then if we need to extend it for some reason, we can just do an addendum.
Cool, cool. So you said you do a lot of JVs. Are you finding buyers? Are you helping people with sellers? Are you doing all of the above? How does that look?
I mean, a bit both. I mean, it really depends. I mean, we've helped like some newer people, like even just lock up the deal and just walk them through the whole thing and kind of give them that experience. Like in our groups and in our mastermind and just in general, people on social media reached out. But then we've helped people restructure deals, like if it's a bad deal, and then we have to change it to something that's more creative that we can actually move. Um, I mean, yeah, it really depends. I mean, yeah, it's I don't know, I like helping people and doing deals together. I think it's one of the coolest things about real estate is that like, there is competitiveness. Like there's, I want to be the best I can be and I like competing against other people, but I like collaborating even more if we can make money together. Why not? And then, and there's plenty of deals for everybody out there. So I think that's one of the cool things about it.
Yeah, definitely. I love to squat up. Most of my business deals have been in real estate have been with JVs and partners, and I that's what I believe most of my success came from is just working with other people. Like we don't want to be on an island all by ourselves. That's what I say all the time. Like it's good to have people to help you when a storm comes. You can't be trying to get the food, trying to get the shelter and try to do everything yourself all the time. How does that look for you? You say we a lot. Like do you have partners in this business? Not joint ventures, but like do you have actual partners?
Yeah, I work with my wife. My wife Bree, yeah,
Oh,
she does like all the back end stuff. I just handle most of the sales, and she does completely almost everything else, and make sure we're organized and all the stuff. And yeah, and then we have VAs here and there we work with, but yeah, it's basically just us. Like I said, we rely mostly on automations and systems, but a lot of heavy lifting stuff she does too.
that's so incredible, dude. That's awesome. So how long have you guys been married?
So we've been married since I think almost 8 years. Yeah, about 8 years. I think it'll be 8 years this year. And yeah, we've been together forever though.
Do you guys feel like the business keeps you guys tighter?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I just do. We just think of it as like doing life together. Just another facet of things you have to do or
Yeah.
get to do.
How much time do you guys spend on this business? Because you got a lot of automations. That saves you a lot.
I mean, honestly, the we've been blessed to get like a lot of new CRM clients, especially this year. We've gotten a lot, so that's taking more and more of our time. But I mean, the wholesaling probably just 2 hours a day on average.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I like it.
so what do you guys do to turn the business off? Like what do you guys do on your spare time to just enjoy each other?
Really just make being I don't know what's the word, like intentional, I guess. Yeah, intentional about it and just making sure we're taking time off, especially when we feel like you're getting burnt out or whatever. Just making sure you're taking time off and doing things together. Date nights are great. Been addicted to golf lately. Just started playing golf a couple months ago, so we've been doing that together too, which has been fun. But yeah, that's really it. Just kind of just being intentional about it, like with anything. Just wherever you're at, just be present.
That's awesome, man. I don't golf, but I know people who do, and they tell me that some of the best business deals happen on the golf course. So, um, have you connected with other people? Have you been trying to network while you're golfing?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we've gotten I think a couple serum clients we've gotten now through playing golf, which has been cool. And but yeah, just fun just going out there too, and just I like it the most thing just because I'm just not thinking about work. And just getting out there just kind of happens organically, which is fun. And but yeah, I think most of the people I play with are either in real estate or entrepreneurs and doing so. Yeah, definitely a lot of great networking and just hanging out and building relationships with people.
Yeah, that's awesome. You mentioned a word a little bit ago. You said the word burnout.
Hmm.
To you, what are the top signs that you might be burning out?
Um, that's a good one. So for me, it's like it's not like it's like this huge thing like oh it's like forever. It's more just like I just need a break or just a reset. But for me, just I guess most of my like energy just feels more frantic or just like anxious and just I just feel I don't know just almost like overwhelming for me. And I've
Yeah,
always kind of struggled with anxiety and stuff. So but yeah, I think for me, just when I notice I'm feeling extra like that and just like on edge, I'm like being short and like just yeah, just not really feeling like myself. I just make sure yeah, just try to be more aware of it and catch it early.
I'm with you, man. I've had anxiety all of my life, and as I get older and I take on more responsibility, managing it is very important. Do you meditate at all? Do you read books, journal, anything like that?
I read. Yeah, I like to read a lot, but yeah, I'm not great at journaling or meditating. I'm not great at sitting still.
I understand. It's hard for me. I catch myself even when I'm trying to meditate. My brain's still going in a million different places. Um, are you offering any type of mentorship and coaching that people can pay for?
We are. I mean, we I don't push it super hard, but yeah, we have a free group. I try to give everything out for free. So we have a wholesale syndicate is on school. So yeah, we moved all our stuff over to there. So I have like a whole free course on there, a whole bunch of stuff in there, and people do deals and connecting out with people. But people do want more accountability or the more one-on-one time or just yeah, it's still group time. But yeah, we have a syndicate VIP where we meet over Zoom once or twice a week and kind of break stuff down and kind of give people more personalized attention.
Awesome. Well, it looks like we're running out of time here, man. I do appreciate you coming on and talking with me. If somebody would want to JV with you, learn more about the events, or just anything of the sorts, your coaching, how could they contact you or the best way?
Yeah, so really anywhere on social media, I just type my name, Ky Logue, KY, last name Logue. But really, yeah, that school group. So if you go to school.com, you just type in wholesaling syndicate, you'll see all our stuff in there. We have a calendar for all of our events, the boiler room, our podcast, like all our stuff's in there. So it's the wholesaling syndicate. I mean, that's pretty much the brand name for all our stuff that we do. So you can just Google wholesaling syndicate too, and you'll see all our stuff.
Awesome, man. I'll put those links in the description of the video. So anybody watching, if you want to reach out to Kai, you can do that. If you could leave these people with one final thing, man, it could be business, life, just one final gem, what would it be?
Yeah, so my big thing is just taking it one day at a time. I mean, it's seems super overwhelming, especially if you have big goals. Like, it seems so far away. But if you just know what you want, you figure out what you want, you just work at it, just day over day, like you're gonna get closer and before you know it, those days add up and compound and you're gonna get there. So just keep pushing and you'll get there.
Awesome. Thanks for your time today, Kai. It was great talking with you. If we provided any type of value to you guys during this interview, the only thing that I ask is please, just share with a friend. Other than that, I think we're good, man. You don't have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm good. Yeah, if like anybody needs help or anything, yeah, definitely feel free to reach out. I try to respond to everyone who does. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's a great show, man. Love what you're doing.